Good morning. So interesting. I just want to start by saying that I have been doing Bible study with Jehovah Witnesses, and what I'm about to share is probably going to upset friends and family who are Jehovah Witnesses, but I can't stop because I feel called to share what I'm learning. And I'll also start by people in the Jehovah Witness organization are very loving and they have big hearts. But what I'm finding is that it's a deception. Not that the Bible is a deception. I'm still learning. There's a lot of really good stuff in the Bible. And again, Jesus' teachings, that is my guide. That is my guide. But what I learned last night is that the gentleman who started, well, first I wanted to know what the second coming of Christ meant. So I looked it up, and essentially when Jesus returns to earth in the future, blah, 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 blah. This gentleman named Charles Taze Russell was actually his teachings back in the 1800s, early 1900s, that were based off of pyramidism. The Great Pyramid of Giza, he called it God's Stone Witness. So he had read a book called, what was the book called? Anyways, maybe I'll stop looking at my notes. But he read a book that inspired him to learn more about this Great Pyramid, and I think it's one of the pyramids in Egypt. I'm gonna go look all about it. But anyway, so that's how he like calculated based on the pyramid like timelines, and I guarantee you he was getting messages from Spirit. And I'll tell you why I think that too is because so after this man Russell passed away, it was another man who came after him named, after Russell died, the leadership passed to Joseph Franklin Rutherford. And then by 1920, Rutherford rejected pyramidology entirely. Okay, so when I read that on my GPT chat last night, and I was thinking in my head, oh my goodness, Russell, who came up with the whole calculations and all of this to start, was totally a mysticist. But at the time, they were probably burning witches at the stake and punishing people who talk to spirits and all that, right? So he was like, well, I can't tell my truth because I'll die, and that's fair, right? So he just, and then after he passed away, this other man came in, and then what was a group of people that had elected local elders then became were the headquarters of this organization that this Rutherford ended up turning into, became the headquarters, became authority, and then they appointed overseers who replaced the elected elders. Obedience became to organizational direction became emphasized, and more unified and controlled structure. The point is, isn't that just like Catholicism? Like it's like all elected people, and I don't know, it's all just so interesting. But anyways, when I was on GPT chat last night, and I was thinking in my head specifically, oh my gosh, when Russell died and this Rutherford guy took over, like he took away all the mysticism and said, oh, that's bad. And then he made Jehovah Witnesses organization into something more strict and less like open to other like Christian organizations and all this. And my right ear started ringing like, yes, Ashley, you're on the right track, you guys. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's just fascinating. And when I went to the Kingdom Hall for the first time, I was overwhelmed with happiness and joy. It was where I was meant to be. And I could feel in my head, like, just this sensation of, yes, Ashley, this is where you're meant to be. This is part of my intuition now. And I just started crying. And I'm telling you, like, I am so grateful for learning the Bible and the Jehovah Witness. And again, Jehovah Witnesses have such big hearts, but it's a lot of the organization and a lot of religious organizations, and I can't wait to learn about more, especially with my newfound gifts, because I'm not taking medication. My spirit guides are guiding me to help share the truth. It is my turn and a lot of others to pass the torch. And you know what's funny is in the Jehovah Witness organization, what I think I've understood is that this Rutherford guy said something about 144,000 will go to heaven. Those are God's angels. And the other day I was telling one of my Jehovah Witnesses friends, I think I'm one of the 144. Well, what I've also been learning about just is that there's light workers here on earth. And I do think I'm a light worker. I don't know anymore what I feel about the 144. I think the 144 is a frequency, the Christ consciousness frequency, where when we live in a state of love and we love ourselves and we're loving others and we're just like totally in tune, that's the 144 frequency. And that is the goal. And it's so cool. And I'm just grateful. And I can't wait to learn more. Oh, and I was reading Revelation. Was it Revelations? Yeah, Revelations in the Bible. And next up, I'm going to tell you about why I think that our Creator was a Pleiadian. I'm so excited. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.